Hi, happy Friday. Welcome to Real Estate Real Talk. So today I really want to talk about something a little bit different. I want to talk about my home ownership journey because I really think that um, seeing where other people come from and where they kind of ended up can help you maybe move that needle a little bit more. I see in my experience that there's a lot of homeowners or wannabe homeowners not starting their journey because they're waiting for that perfect house. Um, and I just want to talk to my buyers, my first time homeowners, or maybe you already have your first home and you're thinking about moving up, things like that, what that looks like. When I started my real estate home ownership, I was about 22 and I went and looked at houses and I couldn't afford them. I couldn't afford a house, but I knew I did not want to rent anymore. I knew I wanted to own my own place. So I bought a single wide trailer. It was old inventory, so nobody lived in it. And if somebody had, or it had been a trailer in a trailer park that I purchased, that would have been all right as well. I took that trailer and I put it in a trailer park, and that is what I called home for 2, 3 years. And I was really okay with that. I actually grew up in a trailer, and in my young life lived in a trailer park. Do have fond memories of that. Always somebody to play with, but I was all right owning a trailer because I had the foresight to know that this wasn't going to be forever. So that was my first home. And I am thankful for that. I worked hard to get there. And I lived there for 2, 3 years, and then I sold it and was able to take that equity and I bought what you would call a traditional home. It was still a very small, single floor, 2 bedroom, 1 bath home. I actually fell in love with the deck and the fenced in yard. And I really felt that was an upgrade and I really appreciated it. But again, I knew it wasn't my forever home. And I didn't know what my forever home was going to look like. I didn't know where I was going to end up, but I knew that I was ready to move up into something a little more traditional. And so it happened that I only lived there a couple of years. Life happened and we ended up in Norwich. And my husband and I bought a 200-year-old farmhouse that hadn't been lived in a little while. Lath and plaster, walls, wallpaper that thick, coming down because it hadn't had heat in it for a while. But it was ours, and we lived there for the next 29 years. And that is where we raised our boys. We renovated pretty much the whole entire house. And thank goodness my husband was handy and I became handy. But we wouldn't have gotten there without starting, and starting is where you need to be. And that's really what I want to get across, especially to my new homeowners, is that you need that equity to move forward. You can't compare yourself to where your parents are now. That's not where they started. You can't compare yourself to your friends or your other family members or HGTV. You need to start where you're at. And that's what I love doing as a real estate agent. I love working with buyers and especially first-time buyers because I love dreaming with them and expanding with them. And though this might not look exactly like you thought it was going to be, you're starting to build equity. And from that equity, you can build up. And now we live in our forever dream home. We were able to take that equity and build a place of our own. And we will be here forever. But it wouldn't have ever happened if I didn't start. And so I started with a single wide in a trailer park. And that is okay. That was my journey. So if you're thinking about buying a home for the first time and you're not sure where to start or what that looks like for you, let's have a conversation. I would love to talk to you about it. I would also like to hear about your real estate journey. If you have bought your first home or your second home or whatever home you're on, what that looks like for you. I love hearing the stories and how you have evolved in your home ownership. So put that in the comments. Reach out if you really want to have a conversation as far as what a home for you looks like and what the steps are to start your home equity journey. Thank you so much for being here. I'll be here next Friday, and have a great weekend.